Hey guys, welcome to Soulfully Illumined. In this video, we're going into the new moon in Gemini energies coming up. And excuse the noise if you can hear that. The construction continues in my world, and I feel like it's somewhat of a metaphor or symbol of what's happening in the world, a reconstruction of sorts that's happening around us, within us, as a collective, global sphere, so to speak. So let's get into it. These energies coming in for this new moon. When I was feeling into it, what I saw was basically the Gemini symbol of the twins, of the two faces looking at each other. And it was interesting because at the same time when I was pulling cards, we got the mirror for the collective energies. And I feel that this new moon marks a time of really just seeing oneself, seeing the mirror that presents within us, right? So really facing ourselves, the light as well as the shadow. And by doing so, and you can see there's like a full moon there, so I feel like it's just going to really peak at that full moon. And so it's kind of like the light is being shined on us, our multitude of faces that we present to the world, and what really works for us and what really doesn't. The pieces of us, there's going to be pieces of us that are the light and pieces of us that are the shadow that are going to be coming up for us to see. And bottom of the deck is the Judge. And nothing is neither black or white, but ultimately a choice. And check that out. That's funny. The self. Nothing is ever black or white. Shades of gray, multitude of colors. And so when what comes up is something that you don't like, remember ultimately you have a choice. And this new moon in Gemini is showing you a bunch of different things. And it could be as simple as how very diverse and multidimensional you are, or we are in general, and how everything is an aspect of us. Regardless, the question is what comes up in you or around you. Is it serving you or is it not? We're being requested during this time to kind of walk through this part of the movie, so to speak. And as we walk through this aspect or this new moon as a movie, we're able to pick and choose these different things, different components that are popping up. Remember the mirror. The mirror principle is that everything is a reflection of what's happening within you. And with that principle, and you may agree with it or disagree, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm just giving you the information. But with the mirror, what's popping up? As it being a reflection of you, what is triggering you with that piece of information? Or what piece of it do you absolutely love? And if you love it, savor it and take that with you to the next part of your journey. It's kind of like a candy shop, picking and choosing different things, but ultimately it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Some things will be very evident, and some things will not be so evident. So watch that triggering during this new moon up into that full moon, because there may be some things that are poking at you. Because as a collective, it's like there are things that we don't want to see. It's easy to blame another. It's easy to, yell at another, or blame the government or this or that or whatever. But everything is a reflection of us. So we're being asked at this point to really see all of these facets of ourselves, really facing ourselves, whether that's actually just connecting with you and, you know, being at home and nurturing yourself and just really allowing the information to flow about yourself, or connecting with the world and seeing all of these different things happening in your environment and seeing the connection of how that's something within you. And as a result, choosing a new way of possibly self-expression, how to, you know, pick and choose those different ways of how to be out in the world in a whole different way. But this is leading us to a more authentic version of ourselves, because how can we really shift those things in us if we don't know what we're shifting? You know, how can we change those patterns that we've been taking with us through, I'm hearing some of us, generations, if we don't even know what it is, right? If we don't if it's not really present in our awareness to then shift it. Now, of course, there's different ways to go about it. I don't believe in this is the only way to do it, but I feel like that's kind of what's coming up with the Gemini symbol of the two faces looking at each other. We're walking a new path, guys. We're really walking a new path, because we've been doing this cycle over and over again. We're in the fourth turning again, meaning that, you know, we've done these 4 turnings over and over again. And it's you know what? It's time for a new game. It's time for a new way of being. And that's what we're moving into. And so as we see these pieces of ourselves that are being shown to us, love it, be compassionate with it, move through it with grace, and knowing your worth and the beauty and the strength that you hold. And choose those pieces that work for you. Choose you. You know, we're in the middle of a bunch of different transits. You know, it was interesting. There's multiple transits this month for June. Oh, the Eternal Child. Reminds me of the last reading, where it's really, it's just getting back to our innocence, getting back to our purity. But anyway, as I digress. So there's a multiple of transits that are happening right now. And I'm not going to get into the astrology, but instead tell you it's really emphasizing how we want to express ourselves in the world, but also how we want to show up to the world, and ultimately how we decide to just, how we want to just be in the world. You know what I mean? So, where was it? Now I'm looking for it, and it's gone. So, guys, this is such a great time of movement forward. I feel like there may be moments of intensity that may be rising, and know this, there may be some resistance. As I said, when we look in the mirror, you know, we're always hardest on ourselves. And so as a result of what you're seeing with others in the world, or what's being directed to you, when you look in that mirror, it's have compassion for yourself. See the wounds that are being presented to you, and know that they're just wounds. Walk this path with grace, my friends. There's some really interesting times ahead that's really bringing us to greater freedom and allowing us to really fly. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I realize I've been talking for almost 10 minutes. Let's get into the pick a pile and go a little bit more deeper. And we got 3 piles, people. We got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. So go ahead and scroll down below and feel into the numbers, and I'll see you at your pile. Thanks. Hey there, pile 1. Welcome to this video for this new moon in Gemini. I have 4 decks here for us. Let's get into it. Let's see how the energies are impacting you. So for pile 1 collective, please, how are the energies impacting them for this new moon? Thank you. Oh, I was thinking that earlier. All right, so expect expansion energies for you, pile 1. It feels like it's stretching you out in a way that is going to really light you up. So energies may be really filling. You may feel really charged at certain moments. Movement is key for you, pile 1. Movement is key. And you'll know the difference because when you're sitting for too long, or like if you're at a desk for too long, you may feel like the pressure building and it's like, oh my God, I feel so much pressure in my body, and you gotta kind of move. You gotta move. And the reason why is because you need to move. There's a lot of energy coming in for you at this time. That's really just gonna spread you out, and I'm getting open up your wings. You may get some downloads, some information. You may get some like epiphanies is what I'm hearing. And that could be like towards your life purpose. It could be just about how you've been living your life in the past and how you want to express yourself moving forward. It feels like you're moving into a greater state of peace, pile 1. It's almost like your mind, you've been in your mind a lot, and the Gemini energy, the Gemini is the air sign, right? So I feel like there's electric energy coming in that's opening up just different new patterns in your brain, new patterns in your brain waves, new patterns in your neural pathways in the brain, new pathways in the you know what I mean, in the nerve pathways in your brain. So you may be asked, you may feel like you may want to go in different areas, like you always go walking this way, so go in a different direction. You may want to change your morning routine or your evening routine, something like that, okay? Go with it, because it's kind of like you've been in a bit of a box for a little while, perhaps feeling a little trapped, been in your mind for too long or too much. And so it's kind of like the energies are really supportive for you moving forward, for you kind of going beyond your typical normal. Because what I'm getting here is like this lifting of the cage. There was a story that I remember hearing, something about like, was it a lion? I don't know. If you know the story, you can put it in the comments down below, but something like how a lion was in a cage their whole lives, and then they go out to the wilderness and they stay in the same area because they're so used to thinking that they're in a cage. And I could be completely getting that animal wrong and the whole story wrong, but hopefully you get the drift, is when you are trained to be in a specific space or do things in a certain way, that's all you know. It's a process, it's a brain, it's a neural pathway that you keep running and firing over and over again. That's shifting for you, pile 1. You're being asked to move, okay? Because part of that shift is the body. It's not just the mind, it's the body. And the body needs to get in touch with the mind and the emotions. There's like a syncing that's happening for you that's really, really important for your next step, because your life path is different from what you've done before. So it's requiring you to move in different ways that you have not moved before. Dancing might be something that tickles your fancy, or something that you think is like just puts a smile on your face. Go that direction. Something that just kind of lights you up, makes you smile, tickles your heart, that kind of thing. Go in that direction. If you're like clueless and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know, I'm clueless. Go in that direction, or just something that makes you feel at peace is what I'm getting. But there is a lifting up. It's important for you to spend time with, if the sky calls to you, or just like cloud gazing, something like that, go for it, because it's something that you haven't really done before, or something that you haven't spent much time doing. And I feel like there's a lot of information or there's some sort of enlightenment that's going to happen by you just taking the moment to just do these simple things. There's something about the simple things that's going to give you some greater wisdom, okay? Because you might have been like, you might have done a lot of studying, or you work a lot. There's something, but it's like you're being guided in a different direction than what you're used to. And that's going to help you to flourish. It's going to help you to expand. So energetically, it's like you're stretching, you're expanding. So you may feel, again, like I was saying, the pressure, the pressure building. So you need to kind of move, or even tightness in your skin and in your muscles. So it's important to just kind of stretch out, like I was saying, dancing, but movement. So you may think, oh, you know, I'll book a massage. My neck is bothering me, or my shoulder's bothering me. And if that's what you feel you need to do, go for it. But what I'm getting here is movement. Moving the body in just different ways that it hasn't been moved in before. Okay, obviously, listen to the body. If it hurts, don't do it. You know, or seek a professional if you need to seek a professional. But it's something about kind of moving your body, moving your life in a different way. Let's continue. Let's see what that looks like on the physical, please, Spirit, in their physical life for this new moon in Gemini for the collective. One more clarifier, please. Thank you. Oh, I like that. Oh, I love that. Okay, we've got view from above. Get the big picture. Yeah, and I think that's why they're saying get out of your head, especially if you're an air sign, because it's like get out of your head and start dreaming if you haven't. Get back into that heart, because it's like they want you to come out of the details of all the questions or of all the worry and get back to the big picture. And when you get back to the simple stuff, right, it's like you kind of like, it's almost like the little details will kind of disappear. The little worries will disappear because you just, I don't know, there's just so much peace in the simple stuff. You have valiant courage. Take action with passion. Yeah, I feel like the wind is going to be taking you in new directions. I'm hearing some new opportunities will be presenting itself to you if it has not already. You're being reminded that you're actually ready. And don't let your mind talk you out of what your heart knows, because you've transmuted a lot from the past and you're a lot stronger than you think you are. Trust your intuition. But it's like there's some stuff that's coming towards you, and it's almost like there's going to be like little things and they may pick up and pick up. With the great adventure at bottom of the deck, take a risk, venture forward. There may be something that excites your heart that's going to, oh, okay. So something that excites your heart that's going to show up. And it's going to be, you may not see it coming, pile one. You may not see it coming. Now, I'm seeing two different things here. Like number one, could be something that you've been really wanting for a long time that's not shown up, will show up. And then for some of you, it's something, it's almost like a detour with impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. It's kind of like here, shout to the heavens with happiness. Okay, so it could be that something that you've been trying to manifest, it's not manifesting, it's because something else. You're being detoured in another direction that's going to make you more happier than you think you would have been if that other thing actually worked out. So it's like, be open to the discovery. Be open to what's manifesting in front of your eyes because you've done the work. So trust it's either that which you've been wanting, okay, or something better. And that's something I always say to myself. It's like, okay, because I kind of like to leave it a little bit open. because I want to trust the divine plan. And so what I always say is, as I said, that was 10-10. So I always say, okay, I want this or something better. So it's either I'm in alignment with the divine plan and what, you know, my almighty I am presence wants, or it's something that they have or what spirit has in store for me. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's just the way that I do it. But it also takes the attachment out of that one thing that you really want. So it's either one or the other, but regardless, pile one, it's like, stay grounded, stay rooted, because there's something that's coming towards you, and it's something that's going to really make you happy, and it's going to change the way you think about life. So if you've been a little bit more pessimistic in the recent days about like certain experiences, certain things that have developed in your life, it's like what's going to be transpiring around you is going to show you something else. And now I'm seeing the twins, the faces, and it's like going from being unhappy, depressed, disappointed, in the darkness, to joy, to gratitude, to appreciation, to love, to the light. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're going to be swinging to the other end of the pendulum. As I said that, it's at 11:33, if that resonates with any of you. Let's get a couple more clarifiers, please. I got passion ignited over here. All right, so a couple more clarifiers for pile one collective, please, Spirit, for this new moon in Gemini. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Okay. Trust the work that you've done, pile one, is enough. It's funny, I just had this conversation with a dear friend of mine, is that we're moving into this whole different time where, you know, previously we had to really work hard to get things done, to manifest our heart's desire. You got to work hard, people. You got to work hard. No, 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 no. We're moving into a different time, a higher frequency where it's about state of being, and that will create manifestations. And of course we need action, but I feel like in your case, pile one, it's like you've done it and now it's time for you to receive. And it says here rest, what does it say? Rest and rejuvenation. And I'm getting here with this one, it's about, and notice his hands. Can you see that? His hands are like open, like he's ready to receive. And he's looking down, he's a little quiet because he's in meditative receptive state. And it's almost like you've gone in previously, maybe you were unable to fully receive because maybe you were in a darker space, but it's like you're coming up from that. There's going to be information that comes to you during this time that's really going to help lift you up and raise you out. But on the contrary, pile one, if you have not watched the collective part of this reading, you may want to go back, because I've spoken about the two faces and, you know, seeing your lighter side and seeing your darker side. And I'm seeing like the clouds are being emphasized here, and then the judge. And you know, we're still harmonizing the light and the dark, right? And so it's like you may see the light and all of this wonderful stuff, but at the same time, you may see the darkness. And that darkness is, and don't let that darkness hold you back. And that may be in the form of uncertainty, that may be in the form of natter. But you're in a state, my friend, you're in a very empowered, pure state at this point where you can see it. Just take it nice and easy, slow and easy as you move forward, because you can now shift those thoughts to something beautiful and positive. That's really going to create more supportive thought forms for yourself. The union between the masculine and the feminine with the spiritual union card. For some of you that have been waiting for a divine partner, they're coming. For some of you that have been waiting for greater union with yourself, well, that's here. And you're being asked to go to the water element, and that could be your emotions, to use that as a key to guide you. All right, so what will feel good will propel you forward. All right, this isn't, like I said, this isn't about pushing through anymore. It's about you being the change. You being the change and allowing your world to mold to you. Trust that you've done the work. There's a lot that's coming towards you, and it may be a slow drip, pile one, but it's purposeful, because at this point you're slowly shifting your patterns with this Gemini new moon, okay? The air element, that Gemini sign likes the mind. And so this could be how you are with yourself, your thought forms, but also how you connect with others to pile one in a way that really allows you to express your authentic self, but also helps you to open your mind up and your heart up to really hear truths, others' truths. Oh, interesting. Oof, okay. All right, so we're going to end this reading with the Ascendant Masters Oracle deck, and let's get some final guidance from Spirit. Thank you, crystals. I'm hearing the Rihanna song, Diamond. All right, guys, so you, pile one, like I said, or maybe I haven't said it, you are a beacon. That's what I'm hearing. You are a beacon of light. Remember your boundaries with the Almora card. Clear and shield your energy, because with the crystal, the Epona card, I don't know if you can see this, but Epona is holding that crystal as she moves forward in her purity and her ethereal grace. And I'm hearing like, don't let anyone take that away from you. Remember as you move forward what really brings you joy and how you want to be in this world. And when you remember that, it's almost like you float up, you elevate, you elevate up to that level. And that view from above is kind of, I don't know, it's gonna, maybe that's what's gonna bring those epiphanies for you. But trust that, like, I feel like most of your process, the purification with white Tara, it's in reverse. And what I'm getting here is that for some of you, it's like, you may feel like this isn't much, like you're kind of floating. And during this phase of just kind of moving in grace and moving in, oh, no. I feel like that's the message here. It's like as you're moving in grace, it's almost like you're floating through this process. And as you are, you're purifying those thoughts and so forth. But trust that the work that you've done consciously and unconsciously is done. The rest is just like spirit just finishing up loose ends. Okay? All right, pile one. That's your reading for this new moon in Gemini. Really amazing, because it's like you're opening up, you're expanding, you're becoming more empowered to really just be yourself and live this life with so many new opportunities coming your way and some old things popping up. Remember unconditional love as you walk through this. I'm being drawn to the flag. Something about unconditional love as you move forward. There may be some people from the past popping up for you, pile one. And so as you move forward and you come across these people, places, things, experiences, remember you're not that person anymore. You're not that person anymore. Rise above and remember that. And so as you walk into that experience with the past or that past person, know that it's not the past. It's this moment. And you're not that person. confirmation if you heard that car honk. Alrighty, that is your reading, my friends. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do give it a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in another reading. Thanks again. Bye. Hey there, Pal 2. Welcome for this new moon and Gemini reading. It's funny, as I was saying to Spirit, I'm like, tap me into Pal 2, and then I don't know if you can hear it, but one of the machines outside, the construction's still going on, it just like revved right up. So maybe for some of you, like, it's going to be a more active time where things are just revving right up. But let's get into the cards and see what wants to come through with the cards. We have 4 decks here that we're going to play with, and we're going to start with this one, and we're going to see how the energies are going to be impacting you. So for pile 2 collective, please, Spirit, for this new moon and Gemini, how are the energies impacting them? Lovely. All right, so pile 2. Yeah, I feel like for you, pile 2, I feel like your mind's going to be acting up a little bit during this moon. But I feel like it's a good thing, because it's like you're doing some release work during this new moon into the full moon, and it's things that have been impacting your heart and have been preventing you from really expressing yourself. It's almost like a purification that's happening during this moon, and some of it is like how your thoughts have been affecting your emotions, and part of it is just your mental processes, how you've been like translating certain events in your life. But regardless, it's impacting how you've been seeing things in your reality, as well as how you've been expressing things in your reality. This is a great moon for you, pal 2. It really is, because I feel like it's just it's setting you up for something to come in the near future is what I'm getting. It's like this is the time for you to just release, to gain some real insight about your past. I'm being drawn to her red hair. So, and then interestingly, her red hair here, did I even show you the cards? My apologies. So she has red hair here, but I kind of feel like this is the same person, right? Because it looks like she has red hair here too. So red hair, red hair. So it's like the energies are really going to be purifying for you, really helping you to release the old is what I'm getting, releasing the past, and allowing you to move into the new. I feel like it's time for you to move into the new. And with every ending, there's a new beginning, pile 2. And for you, it's like there's a bit of releasing of the past, as I mentioned previously, but also there's a coming of the new. But the key is to make sure that you release the past fully, so that way when the new comes, you're not translating it as the same stuff over again. So you may find that you're revisiting some old patterns or old stuff during this time, or during this time, or it may be elevated during that full moon, pile 2, but it's all for you. Don't feel like you're just going through the same cycle again. Don't feel like you're still like, mourning a loss, or dealing with grief or whatnot. Let the purification happen. Let the release happen that needs to happen. Trust yourself and be compassionate during this process, because it's almost like a final purge that's happening to really allow you to move into the new, into that space of love. So give yourself like that love and compassion as this happens. You may feel the need to just kind of be with yourself at this point, pile 2. You may feel like you want to really just kind of stay in and just stay in your pajamas and just cuddle up on the couch, or like, you know what I mean? Or just times of solitude, or being with nature, or being by the water. Being by the water, by the way, is very key for you and very healing and soothing for you during this time, if you can do that. It's something about the water element balancing out your mind, the air element. As I said, that was 444 on my timer. Excuse my voice. It's like there's something that needs to be released through you. And part of it is like something that you've been holding down in your chest, in your, your diaphragm? No. Your solar plexus. It's something that's been impacting you, that's wounded you from the past, that's coming up to be released. Okay, it's time to look at it. You'll be asked to look at it. And so they're asking you to have strength and the courage to allow for this transformation. So it might be a little bit more intense at times for you, pal, too. It's all good, though. Just know that I'm hearing that song, Under Pressure, do 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 do, do 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 do, Under Pressure, do 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 do. I swear, every time I hear that song, I dread it. Because I literally, like, it's like my guides just giving me a sign, like, oh, you're gonna have an intense moment soon, so just be prepared. And I hate it, but then I appreciate the fact that they give me a bit of warning. So for you, my friends, you may have a moment of intensity. So do what you need to do for yourself. Cuddle up on the couch, give yourself a nice big blankie. If you have an animal, curl up with your animal. But it's like, I feel like the pathway is opening up for you. Your vision, your world is just opening up for you in a way that's really going to be more supportive for you. The energies coming in are really helping you with your alignment, pal too. And so what I was saying about the solar plexus, it's also your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, and your root. It's those lower chakras that are really helping to connect and really come up and come through that self-expression through the throat. All right? So you may feel like some kundalini energy down your spine. You may feel like you need to kind of walk and move around. I think I said that in the collective, or maybe it was Pal 1, I don't remember. But it's kind of like you may feel the need to move around, especially if you're feeling that pressure in the body or in the mind. You have to kind of use the other senses to kind of tone down the mental energy. So for example, that's why a lot of people may eat a lot to kind of ground them from getting out of the brain, or just get really active when they're stressed out to get them out of the head and get them into the body. So it's like you may want to use the different senses. And one of the senses, there's something for you about touch, pile 2. So if you're getting out in nature, you may want to start touching like the trees, or you may want like cozy like comforters or something to just kind of wrap around you. There's something about Taurus energy and like the tactile sense of Taurus. You may be a Taurus somewhere in your chart, but there's something about Taurus. There's something about the tactile senses that will really help you to feel comforted during this time. But know it's a purification period happening for you that's creating greater alignment to really help your confidence, to remind you about your self-worth, and really help you to move forward in your reality in like, I don't know, a more stronger, authentic, sassy, more passionate way. That's the way it's coming through. Yeah. You may want to bask in the sun, pal 2. If it's really sunny where you're at and you can like lay in the grass and just feel the sun, oh my God, that would be so supportive for you. Yeah, there's something about the sun. Or just like if you're somewhere like cold, I don't know, where's like the Arctic, for example. Stand by the window and just kind of like let the sun hit your face. There's something about the sun that's really going to help give you that space and the relief and the comfort. Let's continue on. Let's go into the physical. So for pile 2, please, Spirit, for this new moon in Gemini, what of their physical reality? What should they expect? Thank you. Surrender to the journey. Release control. Clarifier, please. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Okay, so pile 2, as far as your physical reality, what I'm getting is it's like you know where you're going, you know where you want to go. You may feel like you're not going in the direction that you want to go. But it's like you're being asked with a surrender to the journey, release control. It's like just go with the wind, go with the flow, and trust that you're going towards the direction that you seek. You know, you see the castle over here, but wait, where's the castle? You see the castle over there, but she's looking in this direction, right? She's wanting to go over here, but the castle is over there. But trust that maybe by following the flow, it's going to take her to where she wants to go. I hope that makes sense. I hope that was clear, because then I went into taking shelter. The answers are within. You know, I feel like this time with you is really about you, pile 2. It's not so much about others. Part of it is releasing the past and releasing the old, and that in itself is going to really help you to open up to the present moment, and open up that guard that maybe you've been holding on to, because it's like the answers are within. You're building a greater connection with yourself during this new moon, pile 2. You may want to talk to yourself. Like do some mirror work and just like have a conversation with yourself. If that sounds bizarre to you, then maybe just journaling and just writing down your thoughts and then taking a look at it a week later. You know, or even that's a great idea, at the new moon, writing, you know, whatever you want to come out, whatever wants to come out, and then maybe during a week later or so, or during that full moon, taking a look at it and seeing that mirror. And I feel like there's going to be a lot happening for you internally within the next 2 weeks that's really going to open you up. Because here with reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. And you have a castle here, and then you have a castle here. And it's kind of like with reaching your destination, things are a lot closer than you think they are. Pile 2. Things are a lot closer than you think they are. And you may feel like with a 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, it's like you're moving towards the direction that you want to go in. You may feel like during this time that nothing is really manifesting. It's because it's manifesting within you first. You need to be a match for what you want. Part of the manifestation externally is the manifestation of you to match that physical manifestation. Your light is shining bright. That it is. And I feel like as a result of what's happening and what's going to be transpiring this month for you, your light's going to be shining even brighter because of the process that you're undergoing now. But it's really key that you take that time for you and not look at the external world to validate or show you those different things that you want, because you may not see it. And it's usually when you don't want it, that's when it happens, right? Annoyingly so. But in your case, it's like, you got to see those manifestations within you. You have to feel it within yourself. You're building this greater connection to yourself. And that in turn is the greatest gift you could ever give yourself. Because to me, I feel like that's liberation. That's liberation. You're transforming, pile 2. You're transforming. So let's get a couple more clarifiers. Yeah. Because it's going to change the way you do things in the world. We'll take it. For pile 2, please. Collective clarifiers for this new moon in Gemini. Thank you. Yeah, because you are moving forward. You may not think that you're moving forward, but you are moving forward, because this is a really important part of of your journey, and that is balance. That's the most important part of your journey. And by doing so, you're taking the mask off with the deception and envy, and you're going to be really utilizing that heart and really remembering your self-worth and having that confidence to really move things forward for yourself. With the spiritual growth, with the 7 here, that's what this time is for. And check that out. You got like sacral chakra, you got mental conflict. So watch that mind natter at this time, pile 2, okay? Because as I was saying here, with those lower chakras being activated for you, there may be some triggering that happens with others people, or some sort of nurturing, even with your mother. It could be mother wounding as well that may be popping up. And those are the little things when it comes to forgiveness that may be coming up for you to let go of, to release. So you can really let go of that guard and move forward in more of a pure state of yourself. All right, so watch that mental natter and the, those intrusive thoughts. I just heard of that word like a couple months ago, intrusive thoughts. I love it. Such a great way to say it. Watch those intrusive thoughts and look at them. Take a moment to look at them, because this time for you is really to kind of look at yourself. And when you see it, or when you really are able to step out of it and see it, you can have a more objective perspective, a more bird's eye perspective, and you can then clear it a lot more easier because you're not in that state, right? All right, so final messages from the Ascended Masters Oracle Deck Spirit for Pile 2 Collective. Balance, career, and home in reverse. One last card. Then we have focus upon your strength, Apollo. Take charge of the situation. Yeah, look at these cards and the colors here, right? And then you have the colors here. So really activating those lower chakras, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, really your energy is raising, your power is raising, and you're going to be feeling more of that as a result of this timing. It's time for you to take charge with here the Moses card. And what I'm getting here with this card, I feel like it's choosing to be happy, taking those emotions and those mental processes that have been affecting your emotional state and taking control of them. And utilizing them in a more supportive way, in a way that really balances you, a way that really empowers you. There's something about words with you, Pile 2. And that could be a couple of different things. It could be how you say, how you express certain words or phrases. Watch how you speak, because there's something in the way that you express yourself that isn't very empowering. And some of you don't really see how powerful you are in the talents that you do on a day-to-day basis. So this is really this is a huge self-discovery time for you, Pile 2. Oh my God, please enjoy this time. It's always nice when you find out new stuff about yourself. It's like spirit kind of loving on you and showing you how amazing you are. It really is. And then those little things that just yeah, but remember this mental pattern. And it's oh crap, okay, this is what we need to shift to make it even better and make it even better. You know what I mean? Be light about it is what I'm trying to get at. And then I'm remembering this with the power of joy. Be light with it, because you're creating your own reality here with the rainbow. You're creating it your way. So as you release the past, right, and you're releasing that past energy, you're aligning to your future. You're aligning to those things that you want. So You know, remember to be that, and that's key for you. All right, pile 2, that is your reading for this new moon in Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I love doing this. It was great. And so do give it a like if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to this video for the new moon in Gemini. If you didn't watch the collective part of this reading, and you hear the noise in this video, like construction noise, yes, the construction continues where I'm at, so I apologize for the noise, and hopefully it's not too distracting. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 4 decks here that we're going to play with, and let's first start off with the energies and how they are impacting you. So for pile 3 collective, please spirit, how are the energies of this new moon in Gemini impacting them? Well, you're definitely being charged up, pile 3. It's almost like a building of momentum that's happening internally. Okay, so like I was saying, like as I was shuffling the cards, notice how many times I had to shuffle, right? But I could feel like the cards getting lighter and lighter and lighter. It's almost like momentum was building. So you may feel like things are just happening same old, the same cycles over and over again. But it's actually energetically, there's a building of momentum that's happening within you and in your world. A building of momentum that's leading you to what? Leading you to your manifestations, leading you to greater union within yourself, more empowerment, more of your higher self coming into form. There's just different, they're different, but they're the same. They're all connected, if that makes sense. That's what it feels like. It's like this building. Now, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, you may have a lot of energy surging through your body during this time. You may have moments where you're really tired and other moments where you're really just alive. Feel really alert and alive, and you're being asked to just kind of go with the flow, go with the way that you feel. Like if you feel like taking a nap, take a nap. If you feel like you need to be active and busy, then go for it. Not so much letting your mind dictate what you need to do, but more so feeling into it. And know that this is key for you, feeling through this time, because I feel like your mind may be a little bit hyperactive during this time, pile 3, because it's like you're moving in a direction that you haven't been before, but the mind might start getting a little nervous about it. So it might be a little bit active, okay? But the key for you is emotions. The key for you is what feels good and makes you happy, because I feel like by following that, that's going to override your mind. The mind's going to calm down and be like, okay, we're happy. It's just acknowledging that you're happy, that this is good, that this is safe. Let's keep going. I'm happy. That's going to kind of clear the clutter in the mind. Meaning, if you feel like a little clouded in the mind, like just indecisive or just not sure which direction to go or whatnot, it's the emotions that's going to clear it up for you. Okay, so for example, you'll find that you have greater clarity when you're in a happier state versus when you're a little bit more sad or like depressed or like confused or anxious or like stressed out, you know, emotionally stressed. You're being asked to take some time, like it's using that mind creatively to really just float. So it's like they're kind of showing me like, okay, using the mind intentionally to kind of dream, to kind of envision what those things that you want. The time at night for you is really important, because the time at night is when you can really kind of connect. I don't know if it's with the moon, but you have greater clarity, you have less clutter happening, more silence, maybe at a time where you're more in like peak state, where you're able to kind of connect in more. Could be any of those, but it's like that is the most powerful time for you at this present time, is at night. Because, and so they're saying like the time at night, you maybe feel like you just want to relax, you want to be in quiet, you may want to just look up at the moon or stargaze or something like that. And there's something about that for you, because it's about utilizing that brain in a different way, which is like where you're visualizing things more than being reactive to life. Visualizing, let me say it in a different way. Visualizing what you want, right? And therefore being more proactive about it versus being reactive or like just stressing out in a negative space and not the best possible state. I hope that makes sense. But there's a clearing out of like the clutter that's happening mentally for you. Clearing out of a lot of the natter that's happening for you. So you can see clearly, so you can think more clearly. I feel like that's what's opening up for you, is a pathway with greater clarity. So you may find that during this time, you may find things that have given you, the clutter may be amplified during this new moon. And it's just for you to cut through it. That's all. It's for you to cut through it, to see it, to be the judge, to let it go and move through it. And you'll find as you clear out the clutter, like, I don't need this anymore, I don't need that anymore, yeah, this is just extra noise, I don't need. You're going to be able to, number one, sense your intuition more, because I feel like your intuition's going to be heightened, but also get a better sense of what it is that works for you and what you want moving forward. Time and quiet is key for you, pile 3. There's something about quiet. But I'm also being drawn to the water here, how there's two aspects of self being grounded in water. You may want to take an Epsom salt bath during this time, but it really comes back to emotions. Yet again, I think this is the second or maybe third reading that I've done, which it comes down to emotions. It's utilizing the emotions instead of focusing on the mental energy and the mind and all of those thought patterns, is using the emotions to intentionally set your thoughts. We're switching it. We're switching it. You are switching it. And by doing so, by following the emotions, it's going to give you greater clarity. It's going to open up your vision. It's actually going to open up your world to different possibilities. Really, really great. Really, really great. Stargazing, my friends, if you are like able to lie in the grass and stare at the stars, big one for you. I feel like it's going to be super expansive. And for those of you that resonate with the term starseed, although in my opinion, I feel like we all are starseeds. If you know something contrary that I do, then I'd love for you to write it down below. But what I've gotten is we're all starseeds. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just a term. But I feel like you're going to get something, some downloads, some insight, some inspiration, something, epiphany, from just staring out into space, or even just staring out into like the blackness of nothingness if you don't see any stars in your area. There's something about that where it's just the information is just going to come into your third eye. You don't see this right now, but I'm actually tapping my third eye with my finger. Anyway, sorry. Let's continue on. So, clear the deck. Stuck. Do you feel stuck, pile 3? You're not. Just an FYI. You're moving through some stuff, that's for sure. So for pile 3 collective, thank you, discovering, exactly. You're uncovering treasures. Beneath the surface lies great beauty. And I feel like that's one thing for you. You're doing a dive. You're doing a bit of a dive where you're going to find something, clear out the clutter, and you're going to find some gold in there that's been hiding underneath all the clutter. And that could be the clutter from the past, that could be clutter from other people, others' expectations, social media, all the clutter and noise that we carry around her. There's still some that you're releasing during this new moon, okay? See, look, we got the watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. I feel like the information's going to come to you, pile 3, during this time. Like, I feel like it's not really that active in a sense that you got to go out and you got to do a bunch of stuff. I feel like it's all going to come to you. If you're quiet and you're still and you're observant, the information's coming to you. Because it's like, yeah, like with the dragon, it's like, I feel like there's some gems that you haven't seen before that you've been holding on to and you just didn't even realize because there's just so much stuff around you. You haven't seen it because you've been focused on all this other stuff around you, and it's all good. It's all good. You know, you're meant to see it at the right timing, and maybe this is the right timing for you to kind of clear out the old, because I'm just being drawn to the purple here, and it's like you're transmuting. Your job right now is to transmute, to release, to transform that clutter and release it. Because it's like they're showing me like the curtains opening. And it's like, as you do that, pile 3, it's like you're walking into a whole new world. And as you walk into this whole new world, it's like you're transmuting all these things around you, right? Or you're releasing these things. As you release it externally, you're releasing it within yourself. As you release it within yourself, you're releasing it in your physical reality. And it's almost like the curtains are going to open up, and you're going to look up and you're going to see, holy crap, I'm there already. I'm in the experience I want to have. And then you're going to look at yourself and be like, oh crap, look at me. I match this. Meaning that I'm a lot better. I've transformed. I've transformed. Or it's like you may use a different term and instead say, wow, I was this all along. And I didn't even realize it. Peeling the onions, my friend, peeling the onions. And I feel like with you, this new moon is going to give you greater insight about yourself and about who you are. It's going to peel another layer of the onion called noise and clutter. And really bring you back to you and knowing that, you know what? You can just sail, my friend. You can just sail and rest and relax and just float for a little bit and know that, you know, the work is to float and to just see those things around you that you need to see. And you'll realize that just by floating, you have the gems in front of you. That's for some of you. Now, stepping into power, you are strong beyond measure. Some of you are doing, are going back into the past during this new moon, and that could be revisiting certain situations. If you haven't seen the collective part of this reading, you may want to, because I talk about the face and really seeing ourselves in a different way, but also seeing our world and relationships in a different way. And I feel like with this one, you may be revisiting your past through different circumstances, situations, people, whatnot. But the whole key of that, or the purpose of that, was for you to kind of see your own light and kind of see what you've walked through, and to really recognize and appreciate those aspects of yourself that have required courage, that you are courageous, and that you are strong, and that you are brave, braver than you know. And there's something in that that's going to help to, it comes back to this, and that could be part of the gem. That could be one of the gems that you see, or that can help to propel you to find that gem, to next see that gem. I don't know, something like that. Okay? But there are people watching you as you go about your journey. And that might be something that some of you are a little like conscientious of like other people watching you. Regardless of that, it's like nothing, I'm hearing nothing matters but you. Stay focused, stay aligned, keep moving forward, because nothing matters but you and you following your light. And this journey may take you in places that others will not know and not understand, but it's not for them to understand. It's about everyone staying in their own lane, you staying in your own lane too, and following your path, because like I said, there's hidden treasures waiting for you. Let's get some clarifiers though. Let's get some clarifiers. Look at that. We got intuition and then we have triumph. What does it look like? See that light? It looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm a little silly. It's just, anyway, but doesn't it look like a butterfly? Like, no, it actually looks like wings. Doesn't it? What do you think this looks like? If you're watching this, Pile 3, what do you think this looks like? It almost looks like he's ready to soar. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's continue. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm a little silly. I just ate lunch / dinner, and maybe it was the Thai that just made me a little silly. Anyway, let's continue. Clarifiers for Pile 3 Collective, please, Spirit. Okay, so we have fulfillment of wishes in reverse under uncovered treasures. And then we have obstacles. Okay, bottom of the deck, obstacles and challenges. We have patience and planning, and then we have foundation and achievements here. Okay, so it's like you've been waiting and waiting for these manifestations to happen, but they haven't really been happening. And I feel like for you, Pile 3, it's really about really just building a firm foundation within yourself with the foundation and achievement, building your own house. It reminds me of a reading I did a couple years ago. It was like, it's like you've been building a house. You've been building yourself. The house is a metaphor for you. You've been building a more stable, secure version of yourself, working on your inner child, working on your inner divine masculine and your divine feminine. And so it's taken some time. Allow yourself this time to relax. There's manifestations that haven't been, or wishes or dreams that you've had that have yet to be fulfilled. It's because sometimes it's like, I said this to a group too, it's like sometimes it's not what we want it to be, but maybe it's something better. Or maybe it's not as of yet, but there's something coming that is just beautiful for you, because it's like you've been waiting for something. Look at how we have here, you've been doing the work, you've been doing a lot of internal work, whether you realize it or not, but also external work, Pile 3. And with this card, you may have found that with the external work, maybe in the physical reality you've been doing, it hasn't been manifesting the way that you wanted it to, and like maybe the work that you're doing isn't filling you up emotionally, and it's not really providing you with the financial freedom that you've been dreaming of. But what they're saying here with this, underneath that being uncovering treasures, beneath the surface lies great bounty. There's a piece that you're missing, Pile 3. I feel like part of that piece is you not realizing how many talents and traits that you have, and that maybe the one thing or the two things that you're doing is nothing compared to what the talents that you have, and I'm getting, is nothing compared to the ancient wisdom that you hold within you and the power and the ability to express it out into the world. You have like talents and abilities that are just yours. And I feel like with the dream right above that, Pile 3, dream. Take the moment to daydream, because it's through our daydreams that we really allow our mind to open up and intuition and downloads and inspiration to really come through. Take that time to open that space, because there's something that's been hidden. It's something that you've buried, that for some of you that's very something that you hold very close to you, that makes you maybe feel a little bit vulnerable and sensitive. That's one of your greatest gifts to humanity. And I feel like maybe, and you'll know if this is true or not, you'll feel it, whether it's terror that you feel in your chest or knowingness, but maybe it's time for you to come home to that. And if you don't feel ready yet, maybe it's time to plan for it. You know, indulge in that and be like, okay, well, maybe I want to, you know, I want to read tarot and oracle cards. So maybe I should start, like, you know, it terrifies me, but, you know, maybe I should start planning. Like, what would I do if I was doing this, you know, and how would I do it? And, you know, just play with the feeling of it is what I'm getting. Because I feel like what's going to really bridge the gap here is your emotions and being more flexible about it. Being flexible about how it needs to come about. So for now, maybe it's just time to dream. But ultimately for you, Pile 3, there's like this coming together. There's this coming together that's happening, a bridging of a gap that was left, I don't know, it was like, it's like a bridging of a gap of you. There's a piece of you that's just not been connecting. And that could be the heart and the mind. That could be your passions not really coming through yet. But there's a connecting that's happening for you. Oh, if you know what it is, can you please comment down below if you feel comfortable with sharing? I'd really love to know. That would be wonderful to know. Okay, so we're going to end this reading with final messages for Pile 3, please, Spirit, for this Gemini new moon. Final message. Thank you. Priorities. Some of you may be prone to procrastination, Pile 3. It's all good, but it's time to prioritize you, is what I'm getting. It's time to really put yourself first. Put your arms up in the air and say, it's my time. Sorry about that, Pile 3. My phone died right after I said it's my time. Anyway, it's your time. And so take that time to recharge, to regenerate, to dream. And know this, there may be messages in some of the dreams that come in during this time, because this is really about you. This is your time. It's time to remember who you are. And I feel like through the dream state, but as well as you taking that time to just envision and imagine the life and those things that you want, they're going to give you glimpses of who you are and what inspires you. Yeah, so really, really great. Really, really great. A lot of insight coming in for you this time. And lastly, what I was getting was watch your posture. I know, random, yeah? So watch the slouching. If you slouch, watch the slouching, because you've been carrying a load on your shoulders that not only doesn't serve you, but you no longer need to carry. Because like I said, it's your time, and it's time to be you and enjoy nourishing yourself at this time. Okay? All right, so that's your reading. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do give it a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to reading to you again. All right, next time. Bye-bye.